Coming up on Naperville News 17. Naperville's Ribfest will soon roam to Romeoville. A showdown at one of the tastiest fundraisers in town. And a storeroom of goodies ready to shell out. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Pierce. Thanks for joining us for this week's Naperville News. It's official, Ribfest will not be held in Naperville starting in 2020. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski has the details.
The Exchange Club of Naperville recently announced that Romeoville will host Ribfest 2020 and beyond. The site chosen is adjacent to the Romeoville Village Hall near the intersection of Romeo Road and Weber Road.
Romeoville offers us a nice large spot which allows us to continue the current operations as we have them. We are a large fundraiser and to continue that fundraising operation as it exists, to be able to continue to fund the various agencies that we do, we need the same type of footprint.
For more than 30 years, Naperville's Knock Park has been home to Ribfest. But due to redevelopment planned for the park in 2020, another site needed to be chosen.
Obviously, it's tough to move after 30 plus years. And we've had a great partnership with Naperville and the Park District for many years. That part is difficult. It's always going to be difficult. But the move is going to be going forward, and we believe that this is our best alternative to go forward.
Black said no other sites in Naperville offered the space needed to host the event. Other communities were also considered, but Romeoville gave them the space as well as other advantages with their site.
You know, you've got I-55 nearby, you've got some interchanges nearby. We think that transportation-wise, we can hopefully reach a few more people.
The site also contains an already built pavilion that Exchange Club officials said could possibly be used as the event's secondary stage. Black also stressed the organizations that benefit from Ribfest will not be affected by the change in location.
We are going to continue to fund all the agencies that we have been funding over the years, which are many agencies that are in Naperville, many agencies in the surrounding communities around Naperville, and there are already agencies that are down in the Will County, Romeoville type area.
2019's Ribfest will still be held in Knock Park, prompting the hashtag from the Exchange Club, Last Nights at Knock. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
2020 will be the first time Ribfest isn't held in Knock Park since 1988, the first year of the event when it took place on Rotary Hill. Naperville's bulk curbside leaf collection program came up at the most recent Naperville City Council meeting. Naperville City staff suggested cutting back on the curbside leaf collection program to make the collections more efficient. Director of Public Works, Dick Dublinsky, gave the presentation.
Going forward, what I'm proposing from the data is that we change our 6-week collection into 2 cycles of 4 weeks. And by doing that, the data shows that we'll still collect 90% of what we always collected.
This would create a savings of about $45,000 for the city and decrease the likelihood of conflict with winter operations. Naperville Public Works uses the same vehicles for leaf collection and winter ops, and an early snow last year caused difficulty in completing both jobs in a timely manner. Council members said they received more emails about leaf collection than any other topic, showing that the program is important to residents.
But I think it's clear that the residents very highly value this program. They don't want to see us take an action that they perceive to be a step backward in terms of service level, and the savings we're talking about are, in no way commensurate, I think, with the degree to which the community values this program.
That idea was reinforced by residents at the meeting.
How can you say that you're not taking anything away if you're cutting back on a leaf pickup? Pardon me, but that means there's one less pickup. That means the leaves are going to pile even higher.
Many on the dais agreed, however, that the program needs a change to deal with the chance of snow.
Why not outsource the snow? So the Public Works focuses on leaves. You focus on it for 6 weeks. At the end of 6 weeks, whatever's left is left. But then if it should snow, you outsource that to someone who can pave the snow.
There's areas where we don't need as much pickup, and maybe we cut those back and then maybe sustain 3 pickups in other places.
Council asked staff to look into those options and come back with more proposals to improve the program. Naperville City Council also lifted a sunset provision on sidewalk liquor sales. The policy had been in place since 2017 when council allowed up to 5 businesses to serve liquor on public sidewalks. Businesses would have to renew the $500 permit annually, with the policy sunsetting at the end of March last year. That date was later pushed back to April 30th, 2019. The Craftsman, Cubo, and Front Street Cantina obtained the permit, which requires them to enclose the dining area around tables and chairs while still leaving a 6 to 8 foot path for pedestrians. With the sunset provision now removed from the license, city officials believe more restaurants will look into sidewalk liquor sales. That includes Sullivan's Steakhouse, who city documents say considered the permit but didn't follow through due to the uncertainty of the sunset provision. At the Liquor Commission meeting where this topic was discussed, Mayor Steve Chirico said there had only been 1 complaint concerning the seating area outside the Craftsman, but that had been changed and there were no further complaints. After the break, it's Parents' Night Out for some playtime at the museum.
Shop downtown Naperville this spring with over 100 shops, from national favorites to one-of-a-kind boutiques. Plus, over 50 restaurants and health and beauty options too. Downtown Naperville is the premier shopping destination in the western suburbs. And don't forget about Downtown Naperville gift cards. They make a perfect gift for every occasion. Come shop, dine, stay, and have fun in downtown Naperville.
Stay up to date on what's happening in our neighborhoods and schools at City Hall and all across town with NCTV 17 News Update. Emailed directly to your inbox once a day, Monday through Friday, this 2-minute video not only tells you the latest news, but shows it to you, all at your fingertips.
And that's what's happening right here in Naperville.
And the best part, it's free. So sign up today at nctv17.com/subscribe.
Little Friends is now a step closer to moving to its new location. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted 7-1 in favor of rezoning their property to a college-university designation, as petitioned by the site's buyer, North Central College. The 3.79-acre site is bounded by School Street, Wright Street, Columbia Street, and Franklin Avenue, and sits just north of North Central's main campus in the historic district. The spot was identified for future growth in the college's Master Land Use Plan 2010 to 2020, but exact development plans are not yet in place. This led Commissioner Andrew Margulies to vote no to the rezoning.
If it's a college facility, what if it's a parking deck? What if it's something that doesn't necessarily work with the surrounding areas? I have no problems with the university taking over that land. I think it makes total sense, but without knowing what's going to go there, that's what I have an issue with.
However, the rest of the group agreed with the new designation.
So a lot of times we get people coming, developers coming to us wanting to approve a zoning, and we don't know what their plans or their intentions are. However, because there's historical record with both organizations, both with Little Friends and with North Central, I am very confident that you guys will work with the residents and do what's right for our community and for our residents.
The sale will go through in January 2020. Little Friends plans to move to a more up-to-date facility on Deal Road and Mill Street by June of that same year. The commission also approved Soma Sage Health and Healing, a massage establishment that will come to 1112 South Washington Street. Some District 203 parents got to be at the DuPage Children's Museum after hours to learn about the power of play. From boat making to bridge building, these hands-on activities weren't all they appeared to be at the district's inaugural Social Emotional Learning Parent Education Night.
And when we thought about what's the most important skill we need for kids when they enter kindergarten, it really was about social emotional learning. So that's really why we built this night, because we're like it's so important for kids. And sometimes I think it gets lost, and we wanted to really have the opportunity to highlight it.
The event was for parents of kids about to enter kindergarten. After grouping up, they went through different hands-on activities that demonstrated how the district helps develop SEL skills and how parents can continue those lessons at home. The Parent Night was sponsored by the Naperville Education Foundation. For the 13th year in a row, SCARES, or School and Community Assistance for Recycling and Composting Education, has put on their Sustainable Design Challenge. Our own Christine Lena was there to check out the projects.
Green roof, green garden, green building. It's not easy designing your own sustainable building, but these high schoolers tried their hand at it for SCARES's annual Sustainable Design Challenge.
This is a project of SCARES and the DuPage County Stormwater Committee. This is an opportunity for young people to decide how they're going to live, really, if you think about it. They are going to be deciding how to manage water, how to slow down stormwater, how to save energy, how to reduce energy. Everybody's going to live in a home. What kind of a home are you going to live into?
More than 30 student groups designed their own landscape or building models using environmentally friendly practices.
We have solar panels, rain barrels, permeable pavement, electric car charging stations, and bike racks.
It's a challenge that's proven to get more and more impressive every year.
Just watching these kids come in from the days 13 years ago where it was Legos and shoeboxes to now it's geothermal heating and CAD design and computer generated screens, and just to see what it's gone to over the years is unbelievable.
A panel of judges scored each project for Best Overall Lead Design, Best Stormwater Management Design, and Best Energy Efficiency Design. And each comes with a cash prize. But many are taking more than an award away with them from the competition.
I would say about how many different ways there are to water plants is really interesting because there's literally so many ways.
Yeah, our project focuses mainly on water preservation, so that was the one thing. To just realize how much water we use daily is a lot.
Sustainable designs encouraging sustainable practices. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
Winners of the awards will be announced on May 7th at the DuPage County Stormwater Management Committee meeting. Coming up, the chance to make a life-saving match.
Naperville Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I'd like to report some suspicious activity in my neighborhood. How does this work?
Yes, thanks for calling. Your call is anonymous, and I'll not ask for your name. Instead, you'll be identified by a tip number. In a few weeks, call back with the tip number you received, and I will let you know the status of your tip. If an arrest is made, you could receive a reward up to $1,000.
How do I get the reward money if you don't know who I am?
Well, when you call back, we set up a time and a place to drop the money. You will be safe, and nobody will know you gave Crime Stoppers a tip.
Okay, well, here's what's going on.
As technology continues to advance, cyber safety needs to grow along with it. Naperville News 17's Christine Lena went to a recent seminar to find out how to stay safe in the cyber world.
You are all responsible for your children. You are not only responsible for their food, clothing, shelter, and education, you're responsible for their technology as well.
Retired Naperville Police Detective Rich Wistocki continues to dedicate his career to teaching cyber safety to parents and kids across the country.
Did you know the average internet predator has 250 victims in their lifetime? They affect 250 kids.
He recently presented a seminar at the Fort Hill Activity Center where he discussed the importance of parents having a technology talk with their kids. When it comes to internet use, Wistocki says there should be no such thing as privacy for children. Parents need to be active and aware of what their child is doing, as kids can be easily taken advantage of online and in apps like Snapchat, Instagram, Musical.ly, and TikTok.
And when you're not checking what kind of videos they make, you think it's all cute and funny, because some of the videos that they make are cute and funny, but some of the videos that people encourage them to make are not so funny. And they get victimized.
There are a few things parents can do to prevent these situations. Check your child's phone for hidden folders, especially in photo apps. Don't let your child keep their devices in their rooms at night. And finally, set up a text message code with your child as a plan for if they need your help to get out of a bad peer pressure situation.
I just think that education for parents is so huge because you just don't know. You don't know what all the pressures are on kids, what all the technology is, and so it's good to be educated and informed so you can make the best choices for your family.
I was just surprised in how much that this stuff happens, how he catches 400 people a year and stuff like that. That's just crazy. And also, considering all this stuff that my parents can do to monitor me, I just need to be careful online.
And while Wistocki continues to educate the public, he's also busy educating his peers.
So if I can cast a wider net with teaching other law enforcement agencies and inspiring other police officers to do these types of things, that's my mission. My mission is to spread the word and train more cops so they can save more kids in their jurisdictions.
You can learn more tips from Detective Wistocki and the Naperville Police Department on the city's internet safety page. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
The seminar was part of the Fort Hill Wellness Series. Check the Park District website for more series events. College of DuPage partnered up with Be the Match in hopes of registering as many people as possible to be potential bone marrow donors. Prospective donors signed up at COD's Health and Science Center for the COD Heroes Drive. Biology professor and event organizer Julie Gibbs says the registry holds a special place in her heart.
You can see my button here. I actually had a bone marrow transplant 19 years ago at Loyola, and my brother was my donor. So fortunately for me, I had a family member who matched for me and saved my life.
According to Gibbs, 70% of people who are diagnosed with a blood-related cancer don't have family members as a match. So people like Jim Waters rely on the kindness of anonymous donors.
They couldn't find an unrelated match donor, but they were able to locate some umbilical cord cells in England from a little British baby, which were a good match for me.
There are two methods of donating: taking bone marrow from the pelvis in a surgical setting, or a more common non-surgical procedure.
The prospect of being a donor sometimes seems intimidating to people, but I want people to understand that most of the time now, people who are donors actually take a drug that stimulates cell division in their bone marrow, so stem cells spill out of their bone marrow into their blood, and really it's like donating blood.
It's important to have a diversified donor list, as those who are in need of bone marrow have a better chance of getting a match with someone of the same ethnicity. Those who signed up will be mailed a packet with a cheek swab kit, so they can send in a DNA sample to formally enter the registry. If you'd like to register as a donor, you can go to bethematch.com. Chefs from some of Naperville's best restaurants squared off in Loaves and Fish's second annual Chef Showdown. Our own Christian Kenazal gives us a taste of the event.
Food, food, and even more food. That was the theme for Loaves and Fish's Community Services Chef Showdown competition. Executive Chef Crispin Plata of Mason Sabica, with the help of his sous chefs Rebecca Boyd-Obarski and Dave Kelsch, took on fellow Executive Chef Mark Grimes of K Fagata and his team of Laura Bokar and Joe Chura. Both sides were fired up for the event.
That's what we told them. They should just go home now. We got it. Joe and I got this with Mark. We got it.
We've got this hands down. So we're going to look cash, but we know we've got it. And if we got to pull out some tricks at the end, nobody's looking.
The two teams prepared a 3-course meal that paid homage to the nonprofit's name.
They'll be making an appetizer, and they have to use a loaf because we're Loaves and Fishes. Then they'll be making an entree with fish because we're Loaves and Fishes. And then they'll be making a dessert.
3, 2, 1, let's cook!
The teams quickly got to work, as they had just 1 hour to prepare and present their dishes to a panel of judges. Eddie Sweeney, a judge and last year's winner, gave us an inside look on how he scored both teams.
Obviously the flavor and the taste of the food, the creativity, and actually the cleanliness of the workspace is, for me, important.
While the event was a competition, contestants didn't lose track of the importance of the showdown.
Somebody's got to win, of course, they'll love to win, but it's a friendly competition, and honestly don't want to lose sight of the goal is to raise awareness and funds for a really, really good charity.
Grimes and his team were crowned champions, but the real winner was Loaves and Fishes, who will help feed over 18,000 people this year thanks to the funds raised by this year's Showdown. For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Canizal.
Last year's winner, Eddie Sweeney, hopes to take on Grimes at next year's Chef Showdown to become the definitive champion. Up next, a fitness program for kids is off and running.
We tell everybody's stories big and small. Everybody's story matters to us, and it comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, and that's what makes it so special. We don't always need a big story. Sometimes we want a story that makes us laugh. Sometimes we want a story that we relate to. Sometimes we want to cry with that story. But more importantly, we want to hear the stories about our people in the community.
Medici Neapolitan Pizza has created the magic of an Italian piazza right in downtown Naperville. Choose from the freshest ingredients available, and all their sauces are prepared on site. Enjoy salads with dressings made from scratch, to shareable plates that celebrate the flavors of Italy, to the pizza of your dreams. From the olive tree in the center of the restaurant to the imported Italian wood-fired oven, if you want a more authentic Italian experience, you need a passport.
The kids get to run around and there's so many other kids signed up, everybody wearing their race bibs. It feels like a marathon. So it's pretty cool. I like this atmosphere as well.
It's a really cool thing. I think Naperville, one of the things that makes Naperville so special is that it's so diverse, and like you walk around downtown and you see all sorts of people, and so to bring that all together and have everybody here racing, I mean, man, it just makes me so happy.
Brian Damhoff is referring to the Healthy Kids Running Series, a 5-week program aimed at getting kids out and active. It's a nationwide push that the chiropractor decided he wanted to bring to Naperville.
It's one of my goals in the community is to get kids active, get kids moving, get them off the couch, and just provide this very positive platform. And I think you could see it today. I mean, everybody was smiling, having fun, and it's just such an awesome thing for the community.
Damhoff, in addition to being a chiropractor, is the jumps coach and assistant cross-country coach at Plainfield North High School, positions that have taught him the value in having kids run.
Yeah, just from my experience as a coach, I just see such a cool thing that cross country and running is, and what it could do for kids, and just build confidence and get them moving and just make them really confident and great people in life,
Gerald Houston also understands the value in running. His 12-year-old daughter, Amaya, and 11-year-old son, Jeremiah, are both participating in the run. And it isn't their first.
They've been running since they've been about 8 years old, so it's one of those things that I just keep on signing them up, local 5Ks, whatever I can do. So my wife said, hey, healthy kids, they're running out here in Naperville. Let's get them running. So we went to church this morning, and then we said, hey, let's go run.
Each age group runs a different distance. 2 and 3-year-olds run 50 yards, 4 and 5 do 75, and so on. So in the final stretch of their mile run, Jeremiah passed up his sister. And the reason why?
I just want to win.
And while Jeremiah will certainly enjoy the sibling rivalry win, Amaya will simply enjoy the experience.
I just really enjoy running, like the scenery when you do cross country. You don't just run on a track, you actually run outdoors in the woods.
Garima Singh has 2 kids, ages 2 and 10, participating in the Healthy Kids Running Series, something to keep them away from less active activities.
It's just a healthy activity to do on a weekend, except kids being glued to the TV and doing Xbox. So it keeps them healthy and it's fun. And that's it, it's just a healthy thing to do.
And her boys are far from the only ones out at Frontier Park in race bibs crossing the finish line.
Yeah, so we've got 4 more weeks. So, this is week 1, and we got week 2, 3, 4, and 5. And our first series, we had 39 kids. Today, I think we had 111 signed up. And I just think next spring, we're probably going to have over 200. So it's an awesome thing.
A great way to get kids from all across Naperville out and running together. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Kevin Jackman.
If you have an idea for a sports feature story, let us know at newstips@nctv17.com. A lot of work goes into preparing for an egg hunt, and it takes some extra help to pull it off. When kids are hunting for Easter eggs, parents don't usually think about how all the treats got inside. In the case of the Naperville JC's Easter egg hunt, the whole community pitches in.
We have, over the years, enlisted a lot of help, which is wonderful, from the community. And so a lot of the special needs classes from District 203, 204, as well as the community at Giant Steps, Turning Point, Little Friends, have helped us stuff all these 14,000 plastic Easter eggs.
The result is boxes and bins of eggs filled with candy and chocolate. This is only about half of them sitting in JC's President Miranda Barfus's basement. But these, along with all the rest, are ready to be scattered across Frontier Park and found by the hunters, who are very speedy in their efforts.
You know, it takes us a lot of time in preparation, and then the eggs are all collected and put in the kids' baskets in less than 5 minutes.
About 5,000 kids and their parents participate in the hunt each year. And that's what's happening right here in your neighborhood, Naperville. We'll see you next week. Until then, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, nctv17.com, for daily updates.
This week's Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.